Ladies and gents, welcome to Six Figs. I'm Kyle, and in today's video, we're talking Definity Internet Computer ICP. That's right, baby. Now, we are going to touch on the news, and we're going to touch on the charts and things like that here at the end. But big shout out to myself for dropping the latest and greatest Wojak video, which is available at the end screen of this video, folks. Now, I saw one cool tweet here that I thought I'd throw out there. Rise In is helping Rust developers build on Definity's Internet Computer, and they're offering courses and things like that that basically let you create, test, and deploy apps on the Internet Computer. So I will go ahead and link this in the description or pinned comment, folks. It sounds great. So if you're into Rust, you can build on Internet Computer with ICP Rust CDK. Just check it out. This next article I thought was kind of wild and out there, right? Because drugs and money laundering and trafficking are everywhere, right? So this was interesting to me that CoinDesk published this, but the U.S. Department of Justice basically is saying that Chinese nationals are using Tron and USDT to move money back and forth, things like that. Folks, I guarantee that any country's currency is being used more to launder money and to traffic drugs all over the world. The United States, guess what? Billions of dollars fly away from the United States in purses, in suitcases, on airplanes, on buses. It gets thrown across the border, millions of dollars every day. And I guarantee you that the US dollar, at least here in America, is probably one of the most used currencies in the entire world for trafficking drugs. Not some crypto chain, right? So yeah, I thought this was a cheap shot U.S. Department of Justice takes on Tron and USDT, right? That kind of article is designed, folks, to really slingshot a bunch of bad news about crypto out there. So all these people that just will lap up any negative article on crypto, will do so. Usually it's the older generations. I'm not here to knock on them. They brought me into this world. One thing that I wish I would have seen or realized was that VaultBet was unfunded. I did not know that these guys were doing a fundraiser on them, are on VaultBet. So looks like they have achieved their crowdfunding goal unfunded. So this is great. I covered VaultBet a little while back on a previous video, maybe like a month ago when I first heard about them. But they've got an interesting platform here. You'll have to make sure that you can legally use it. You'll have to look into wherever your laws are, but that you can basically bet on lotteries. You can bet on all sorts of different stuff. So whatever, it is what it is. We have another bit of news. ICP Renegades, quick shout out to Bitcoin Renegade, who got me interested in ICP way back in the day, several years ago when we were both on the Crypto Wendio show. But you guys didn't know that. He's the one that introduced me to ICP. But ICP Renegades is having some sort of game launch soon, and he is launching NFTs to be used in this game. So I was on a little live stream with him last week, and he talked a little bit about it, but I'll get him back on to talk about this game, and maybe we can demo it live. Now, ICP, folks, is up about 7% on the week, up about 1.7% on the day. It's ranked number 31 on Crypto Bubbles, which is a deal. It's a big deal. When we look at the charts here, let's just look at one thing. When we look at this swing high to swing low, we can see that this pitchfork does play into this price action very, very nicely, folks. It just does. But what we can see is that right now, Bitcoin is kind of ricocheted off of this support level here, and this thing's heading up to probably test maybe 29,100, somewhere in there. But I do think that we could possibly be getting ready to see this inverse head and shoulders start to print, because when we look at this on like a 4-hour chart, you can see that Bitcoin, folks, has really pumped. It's come back down and it's tested this level of support on the neckline of the inverse head and shoulders. So that's a very bullish thing to see that it didn't fall through. So right now, I do think that there could possibly be some sort of an Elliott wave theory movement from here to here, and then up to here to here, and then up to here. And now we might be getting ready to see some sort of retracement like this possibly, and we might bounce off this shoulder. That's what I'm looking for right now. I'm basically looking to see if price action falls below this support line and then this yellow support line here. Really about 27,000 is what I'd like Bitcoin to hold. Why does this matter for ICP? It just does, and you're going to have to hear me out. Here we've got what's called a Fibonacci channel. Also, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in this chart, so let me just explain. Bitcoin has what is called a rising wedge that is forming on this price action. You can see these straight yellow lines are forming an upward wedge pattern. Now, let me get rid of this. And when we go and look at this thing on a grand scope, let's just look at the daily, you can really see, folks, that this thing has been in play for the last year. So when Bitcoin dominance goes up, the alts get crushed. When it goes down, alts flourish. So we've got a mega rising wedge here, folks. This is something great to be seen right now on these charts. But what's happening right now, at least on the daily? Well, we had that rising wedge that I mentioned, and I do think that we might get some sort of sliver to boot. When? Well, it might not happen till like the early mid-November. I do think that we might see this thing maybe bounce up into something like this and then break down. So right now, this thing's at a very pivotal point right now. So if we get rejections around this 236 Fibonacci extension, and this is a channel extension, we will see price tumble. And what we need is for Bitcoin dominance to fall through this 200 moving average, somewhere in October. And what we'll see is this 50 moving average start chasing it. And that means, folks, that we have a death cross for Bitcoin market cap dominance. When we look at ICP, let's just pull up the chart here really quick. I'm pretty bullish on things right now. Still, we've got a very nice, folks. Let me just point this out to you. We still have this beautiful, beautiful falling wedge that is forming on ICP. I mean, you guys can see, with the exception of this little dump right here that happened, this thing is in a very nice falling wedge. So I'm still pretty bullish. This is one of my more favorite moves to make. On the daily chart, I mean, we're looking at a thick part of the Ichimoku cloud. So price is going to really have to pump, but I'm hoping we can get some sort of Elliott wave theory to pull off a move like this up to around this $4 level. If not, folks, we're going to end up with some sort of head and shoulders pattern. We're going to see this thing break back down into the $2.50 to $3 range, my opinion. Not financial advice, but one thing I wanted to point out on this weekly chart, folks, is the fact that we had a spinning top and it's green. So we got a green spinning top, another spinning top that's forming, and you can kind of see the gravity of this falling wedge to boot. Maybe you could even extend it out to something like this. And I mean, you could really kind of see where the trend lines are. So I'm bullish. Last time we had two continuously green spinning tops. We saw ICP take a jog for approximately 100% gains. So I'm hoping that we can see the same and, maybe 40-50% gains up to that $4-ish level, folks. Again, none of this is financial or trading advice, folks, but I am still kind of bullish on the markets right now just based off the Bitcoin dominance and things like that. So, folks, do me a favor. check this Wojak video out. Leave a comment, and we'll see you guys all on the next video.